All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 58 of TSGG Chat. I'm your host, Kevin Bork, alongside Brett.
The one and only.
What's going on, my man?
Living the dream, you know? You're not going to introduce Jake?
Nope.
Oh. What about Brennan?
No.
Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show.
Kaylee gets a pass.
Of course, always.
Yeah, just the two of us today.
It's all right.
We're going to rock this shit. Just going to stare at each other in the eyes, and that's all we're going to do.
That's the whole show.
So 60 minutes.
Enjoy.
The lock. No blinking. That's not
really.
what we're going to do. No, we're not doing that.
That's cringy.
But you can watch us record this show live at mixer.com/the TSGG_online.
There you go.
Let me try that again. Mixer.com/TSGG_online. Or you can watch it at youtube.com/the society. I got those mixed up a little bit. You can also get the audio version on YouTube and on all of the major podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and more. Both versions post on Fridays, and they will always be free. You can be part of the show by writing in your questions or comments to tsggchat@gmail.com. We encourage you to do that. If you want to help us continue to grow, please consider becoming a level 1 member over at patreon.com/TSGG. For $1 a month, you will get early access to the ad-free version of this show on Thursdays, and we always answer Patreon member questions on the show first. And finally, make sure you follow us on Twitter at TheSochGG, at Kevin_Bork, at TSGG_Brett, at Shippy_D, at Guyon Gaming, and at Kaylee Gardens to stay up to date on recording times and all other info, or maybe you just want to say hey.
I'm so glad you did it this week.
Yeah. I've been putting it on you like every week.
I don't know what I was
buckling
going
under
to say.
the pressure.
No, I was done. Would have paused.
So the previous 4 episodes have been all about E3. And so we're kind of getting back to normal here. And the E3,
What are you even trying to say right now?
I was just going to say, like, the E3 vibes have like pretty much all gone away.
Right.
Like, it's not trending anymore or anything like that. Other events are coming up now. So things are going back to normal.
In the gaming world.
In the gaming world. And we're playing games again instead of just
And it's
watching
also
trailers.
Summer, so, you know.
And it's summertime.
There's nothing.
And in previous years, summer games weren't a thing. Everybody pretty much held off starting in April till
September.
After Labor Day push.
Yep.
Not anymore. Games come out every day,
Thank God.
all year long.
I need it.
Yes. If 1 billion games weren't enough, you will get 3 next
Thank
year.
you. That's all I need.
Yep. So
Except
July.
I'll probably complain then too.
Yeah, you will.
Uh-huh.
You're
okay.
entitled for that.
Correct.
So July is packed full of games, and there's a couple of good ones coming out in July. 2 in particular that we are most looking forward to.
Thank you, Nintendo.
Yeah, both Nintendo titles. The first one's coming out on the 19th here in the States. I believe that's worldwide.
I think
And that's
so.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. If you listen to the show, you already know how much of a fan I am of this series. And I'm excited to be able to get these guys into the series. So
It's Marvel Diablo. I mean,
it is. You didn't know going
what
in.
else you need to say? Yeah,
You weren't sure about it, but
I was not. Then I saw gameplay and I said, "This is Marvel Diablo."
yeah. I remember the first trailer. I think you were telling me how could it look like that, and how could I be happy? And I said, no, you don't understand. This is all about how you play this game. And with all the features that are known for Nintendo, like ad hoc console play and local co-op and stuff like that, I want to get into their network stuff because they still have a long way to go there. But
Just use Xboxes, Nintendo.
they really should. I mean,
Please. We would appreciate that.
yeah, we're super pumped for this one.
I just get to play Iron Man and all his
Is that what you're
glory.
going to do? You're just going to main
Always.
Iron Man?
Always. I don't need anybody else. Although with Far From Home recently releasing,
Did you see it?
No.
Oh,
I heard it's insane.
it's so good.
I heard. Might change my mind.
So
Might
this,
have 2 Spider-Man mains. Because I already know who you're picking.
you're right.
I know.
I'm going with Thor.
Like after...
After I'm finished with Spider-Man?
No. Like after Avengers Thor, when he's thick.
Oh, Fat Thor? No, this is the comic book Thor.
Yeah, I know.
In the comic book, Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So they have all the cheesy lines you could ever expect that they would have.
That's all you need. You know, it's a comic book based world. That's what you need. You need some Captain America patriotism in there. All right.
Rejoice, citizen! I am here to save the day.
There you go.
That's, I think, an actual line that Thor says.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
So, the trials, though, those really have caught my eye. The Infinity Trials, special missions with specific rules, succeed, and you can earn some very helpful items to use in the main campaign.
So they're
And
like
it kind of looks like
the Diablo.
They are, but did you play Final Fantasy 10 or 12?
I don't think so.
I kind of have like the sphere grid system in the when you're leveling up.
Yeah.
And the Infinity Trials look like that. So you have to get things and then you can move along.
Progress.
And you get progression items for your team. So it's not like abilities, but you can get like +5 attack power for the squad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're earning things. Like, so there's a reason to do it. So
Right.
I mean, it's just giving you more of that loop to continue playing with these awesome heroes. And you're definitely going to want to do it because, I mean, you're playing with your Marvel superheroes. And the gameplay.
I just want to be as OP as possible.
And
so
you will feel
I'm gonna
that
do
in
all
this.
of that.
Especially with the combos that you're going to do when you're synergizing with all the other teams and stuff. And they didn't release all the info, but there's some exploration and discovery, I guess is a better term.
It's sort of a dungeon crawler, but not, I guess. Isn't it a pretty linear story, or does it have the RPG arcs as well? I appreciate you stopping in.
I'd say it's probably linear.
Linear? Yeah. I would imagine with a game like this, especially if they follow so normally with a superhero movie, they would follow a specific arc. I would imagine they would do similar to that in the game as well.
So this has a brand new storyline. Heroes and villains unite in a race across the Marvel Universe to find Infinity Stones one by one before Thanos and the Black Order can use them to unleash cosmic chaos. If you've seen some of the trailers or gameplay, they have shown some missions where, like, the X-Men were shown, for example, and we know that they are part of the season pass. So don't expect to see the mains in the beginning, but like Wolverine is playable from the start. But
what about Deadpool? Is he in this?
Deadpool's in this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I changed my main.
Oh, so
playing
you
Deadpool.
didn't see that video then?
No.
So he's actually at Professor X's mansion, and he's making burritos. And he's in the kitchen, and he's making like 100 burritos. He's making them all. It's Taco Tuesday.
Right.
He's cooking them all up. He's getting excited, ready to go. And then the gameplay, everybody's rumbling outside, like sentinels and everything come. And it's chaos all around him, and he's just cooking. And everybody's in. And then all of a sudden, they just crash through his tacos. And that's when he loses his shit. And that's when he's playable to join the party.
Right.
Like, he loses his shit, and he's like,
Okay, I'm in.
yeah. So, I mean, it's stuff like that.
How else would you expect Deadpool to come in, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, they have that. And when you are choosing your team of 4, like if you wanted to play solo, you still got to choose a team of 4.
Right,
You'll have
of
the 4 AI companions, and then you can actually switch to
Between
any
them.
one of them at any time.
Oh, that's very Dragon Age.
Yeah, it's like that. And it's like those are some of the older school elements that I miss from some of those type of games now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you assign a team of heroes, if you assign correctly, you will get team bonuses too.
Right.
So if you pick for X-Men, you'll get
You'll
X-Men
get-
bonus,
right.
which will be some attributes or whatever. Could be extra
For
defense
Avengers.
or Avengers team.
Mhm.
And they'll tell you what it is, like Spider-Verse. If you
Right.
pick all Spider-Verse characters, which you can, I believe. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah,
you
because
can,
I saw Miles Morales, and
you get
they're all
Miles,
different versions.
You can get Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, and Venom.
Yep.
And that's the Spider-Verse right there. So you get synergized for that. And to change team members, you do have to go to specific points, though. And there's these little nodes, and they're common. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it would actually be kind of a cheese if you could change at any time and just be like, oh, this person's dead or whatever. Time to switch him out. That's kind of
yeah, he fell. Swap out.
that's kind of a cheese. So
I
I
got
would
40 more heroes to go.
I would imagine you would have to do something along those lines where it's like, oh, you can get to this checkpoint and then you can switch there if you'd like.
Yeah, pretty much. You pick characters and you play the whole mission,
Right.
And then you can swap out when you get to the next common area, and then you go in.
Right.
But the abilities, though, man, like they are top as far as like going over the top.
Yeah.
They go all out with them. So
Right.
you will see, and when you get 4 players throwing off abilities, you're going to lose yourself and everything else on the screen. You're just going to see effects going all over
Right.
the place and webs and explosions and shit. And I'm hearing people complain about that. And I'm just questioning that. Like, how the hell can you complain about that? That's exactly what would happen.
Right.
If
You're
all
playing
these
as a
heroes
superhero.
are throwing these abilities out, this
Yeah.
is what you're going to see. Like, and you have the option to have damage numbers and stuff
Right,
like that
of
if you
course.
want to get into the real RPG elements.
And
so
I'm
it's
sure
all
there's
there for you.
options to turn the effects a little, like lower the effects and stuff. They always have those options.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, I mean, like this comes out on the 19th,
Mhm.
and you got local wireless, local play, online play is in this as well. And I'm just curious to see like how long that campaign's going to be, and how many heroes total there actually will be. And
Have they released a full roster at all or no?
I don't believe they announced the full one. Taking a look here on their official website.
Mhm.
And let's see.
And what is that website?
You'll
while you pull it
unlock
up?
dozens. This is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.nintendo.com. So this is on Nintendo's main site. You see, it says unlock dozens of characters, including the Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and more for the first time ever.
Oh my goodness! If it's comic book Scarlet Witch, she's gonna be
It
powerful.
will be. Each one is different, so be sure to try them all to find your ultimate team. You know what? This might be the full roster because I'm seeing a character on here that they just newly announced. So it could be because
Can't imagine there's another announcement coming before with the game coming out in 2 weeks.
yeah, I think you're right because this guy was just announced. I don't know if I
yep.
should say that or not, but I mean
Yeah,
it's
why
public
not?
info, right?
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, amazing.
I wonder who he teams with, or who he gets a team bonus with, or if there are heroes that get no team bonus and you just have to, they make up for it with their own level of OP.
So it's looking like I see 34 characters. Plus, there's
That's
the
a huge
expansion
roster.
pack,
That
which
includes
comes
the
with X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the Marvel Knights.
So this is
like
huge.
Moon Knight and all them will probably
Right.
be in that one.
That's well over 50 characters.
Yeah, it's probably going to be, or it'll be rounding out at 50.
Right.
So 50 heroes. There was a game called Marvel Heroes, I think it was the name of
Mhm.
it. That was like a free-to-play, kind of like this game, but it was riddled with microtransactions.
Right, yeah. And you had to
And
buy them, each hero.
You played
and
that?
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we've talked about it in the past,
Have we?
and it
Yeah.
flamed out pretty hard.
The studio closed and the game was just canceled. And the worst thing about that was we did cover that because they were still selling it like a week before they closed, and
Yep.
they knew they were closing and they were taking people's money, and they were like, see ya. And no refunds.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. So that's if you can't tell, I'm super pumped for this game, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
You're right, Chris. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, this is for going into this year. I said if Nintendo strategized this game properly, it could really be a system pusher for them because it is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. And this game series has a cult following to it. If you were to look at some of the PS2 copies of Ultimate Alliance and Ultimate Alliance 2, individually still sell for more than $50 US, and that's a huge number for a PlayStation 2 game.
Right.
There could be a little less now because they've been HD remastered and brought to the current generation, so don't quote me on that right now because I haven't looked into it in a couple of years, but a few years ago they were selling for over $50 on the PlayStation 2 still. So, yeah. I can't wait to get my hands on Magneto and see what he's all about in this one.
No.
I mean, I could just say I can't wait to get my hands on insert character here.
Yeah, basically.
And see what they're all about.
Because Scarlet Witch is going to be insane.
Yeah, have you seen her art style for this? She looks pretty amazing. I'll show you her real quick and then we'll move on. So there she is, comic book style.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Especially because there's gear and stuff in this game and loot, and you'll be able to... I hope it changes the way they look. Nintendo doesn't do that as often.
No, they do have skins. Yeah,
they do?
They have skins.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
skins are unlockable. I don't know if those are going to be locked behind microtransactions or not. I know they are going to exist in this game in some form.
Right.
I don't know what form or
Right.
capacity there will be in. So I'll show you your favorite character before we move on, and then we'll move on.
I hate him.
I know. I did that
He's
on
going to
purpose.
be OP in this game, though, like he should be.
He should.
Same with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, those two
They
are
just
going to
made
be
them garbage
amazing.
in the MCU.
So I didn't start with the news today. I just went right into
That's okay.
Ultimate Alliance because I had
We
to.
were talking about
I had
that
to
ahead
do
of
it.
time.
I had to do it.
I don't blame you.
I only have a couple news stories. I don't know if I covered this last week when we were talking about the Xbox E3 briefing, but they did announce, not at the briefing, but during E3, they did announce that XO 19 is going to happen this November in London. So XO is coming back. It's a big celebration of all things Xbox, and you damn well better believe you're going to be hearing about Scarlet there. So.
And they showed us last year. They showed us a new studio at XO8 or XO18. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they've got because they knew this was coming. So I'm sure they held off information just the same way they did last year versus E3. So I'm very excited to see what they've got for us at XO19.
If you had to guess what the biggest announcement for XO19 would be, I'll give you three.
Fable.
What, you think? Oh,
I'd lose my mind.
You think they're going to do something like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they.
I didn't even consider that. Like,
I think they want to go into next gen huge, right? So
yeah, they definitely do. 15 studios.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think with one of them exclusively next gen. They bought this or they created this studio last year, brought in some of the premier talent in the industry.
they kind of just went around to some of the biggest studios and said, "I select you.
Yeah, you're coming to us.
How about you?
You're coming over here. You just worked on RDR2. Okay, welcome to the initiative.
Come on over here. Yeah.
You were the lead director for God of War. Oh, well, that game did pretty well. Come over here.
Yeah, come over here. See what we're doing. Yeah.
Like, and this studio has been working for 2 years, and they're exclusively next gen. So I think they're going into this as hard as they possibly can, and I would not be surprised to see a huge announcement like Fable or something along those lines at XO19.
My thing with that is that gives it. So they said Scarlet Holiday 2020.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that means probably the beginning of November.
Right.
Because they're the holiday push for consoles and stuff pre-Black Friday. They get out ahead of it and they start announcing all these deals and stuff.
Yep.
And then so I could see them coming out in the first week of November, maybe the second. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure PS4 and Xbox One released 1 week apart.
I think so. One was October, and then I believe one was the first week of November. but I'm not 100% positive on it. But I can bring it up anyway.
Yeah, I could be wrong there, but I mean, it was very close when they came out. So, unless I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong. But I thought that they were. But
Yeah.
I could see them doing that again this push.
So the one was November 22nd. So it was just before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And 1 week before that was the PS4, November 15th, exactly a week
Oh,
different.
so they were both November. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that happening again.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I think for PlayStation, after what they've kind of their roadmap, how criticized it's been, I think they have to release around the exact same time.
they've got to do something soon. I mean, they've already completely fucked over Kojima here by not going to E3 and
I think he let them
showcasing
know
his
it.
game. He totally did.
I think behind the scenes he let them know that he
I
was
mean, the
not
man
pleased with that.
tweeted, "I wish I was at E3
Yeah.
with some sadness."
Yeah,
And it's just,
and got people from Xbox saying, "Hey, we'd love to have you.
oh yeah,
you
that's
could definitely be here."
worst part about it. I mean, yes, it gets worse than that. You would think that is the worst part about it, that one of your top developers that you've secured an exclusive with. Sony doesn't own Kojima Productions.
Right.
He's an indie studio, but this is an exclusivity deal
Mhm.
for the PlayStation, and this is one of the core 4 games of PlayStation for the last 3 years, 4?
Yeah.
3 years, I think. And it's like, because
2017.
they even made, when he left Konami, he came out on the Sony stage. Like, they introduced him, put the spotlight on him, they played aggressive metal music, and he came out. And so it was like a dream partnership type thing, and his game's coming out, and they hosed him. And they're just like,
Has anybody talked about Death Stranding?
no.
Comes out in like 3 months.
Yeah, nobody's talking about it. Like, people were talking about it at E3, like, that's the most anticipated game they're looking forward to playing.
And then they skip it this
It's
year, and
not
now
there.
you look at it.
And nobody thought it was coming out because they announced earlier in the year, oh, we got nothing to show this year.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit, nothing's coming out this year. You might as well just
And then they come out.
forget
and
about Sony.
Oh,
And then
by the way,
they drop a 9-minute trailer on their Twitch channel, and it's like, November. Really? That's what you're going to do for this man?
Yikes.
It's just so wrong, in my opinion. And
I tweeted
during
a picture of it this
E3,
morning. Did you see that?
yeah, I did. He's been
playing.
yeah, he's teasing us.
It did look very pretty.
It does.
I
It
have
really
been on
does.
record saying that this is one of, I think, his first like bad game.
I've been disagreeing with you the whole time.
I know, but it
And
did
I
look very
will.
pretty.
I will disagree with you all the way.
I know. I mean, I'm probably wrong with Kojima, but it's just, I don't know the way they've done everything with it, and they've kind of been so hands off for, like, this is their biggest release of the year. You know, they don't have
It
The
is.
Last of Us 2. They don't have anything like that coming out. They have
No,
Death Stranding,
nothing.
and they've been completely laissez-faire, not talking about it, not posting, nothing.
Nothing.
The only person doing it is Kojima.
He himself is
Yeah.
doing it. Like, he started the whole tease of the
Yeah, with
hands
the videos, the hand
on the
videos.
videos. Yeah, and it's not like, and then they kind of took it over for the end there,
Right.
And then they announced that trailer, and it's just like, what are they doing? And it's just like, and then the whole time during E3, Sony's official channels are tweeting about how cool E3 is, and their broadcast people,
Mhm.
they're all individually tweeting about, this is amazing, stuff that's happening. We were there on the showroom floor.
Right.
Here's our thoughts. And it's just like, yeah, I want to see your thoughts on your official channel at E3.
Yeah,
Where the fuck is your
exactly.
booth? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you don't have to spend millions of dollars making some gigantic production.
You don't need
Just put a
3
booth
separate
up.
stages, one for each game. That's
No,
not
you don't
necessary,
need that
Sony.
shit.
Microsoft
Like-
comes out to one stage and says, "Here's 60 games, guys. Hope you enjoy."
Yeah, and there you go. That's E3. And come to the showroom floor and play some games.
Yeah,
Like, everybody could have got their first taste of
Death
Kojima's
Stranding.
game right there.
it has to be
It's playable.
It has
It's
to be.
playable.
It comes out in 4 months.
Yeah, it's
Like-
definitely playable.
There's no way it's not. And you're not there. You're at one of, if not the biggest gaming event of the year.
And Kojima is a man that loves E3.
Yeah.
Like,
You saw how he after that was like depressed. Was
He
talking
was.
about how he had to like go out and enjoy the sun and just because he was legitimately that sad
He
about
was
it.
very sad.
And-
It's just unfortunate that this could happen.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I have conversations with people, and I've been a Sony guy for a long time, and it's just like, how do you do that to this man? I just don't understand it.
Right.
And there's no way for them to make it right because they don't have any PSX this year, which would be around that time. I don't believe they're going to Paris Games Week either.
He's just gonna get a direct.
Will he though?
I don't know.
I mean, they had if you took the 2 directs that they did, and they're not called directs, they're State of Play.
Okay, whatever. It's a direct.
Don't do that to Nintendo because Nintendo has
Nintendo's
really
is
polished
better.
the direct.
You're right.
The State of Play is Sony's iteration, and they had enough content in those 2. I almost said it. They had enough content in those 2 presentations to do an E3 presentation, and your showcase is Death Stranding.
I mean, last year their entire showcase was 4 games.
Yeah.
You showed at least 10 in the 2 State of Plays. So just save those.
Yeah, and last
bring
year,
those.
remember the awkward moment where they were just kept teasing dreams in between?
Yeah.
And we saw nothing.
Until after when they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for staying for the panel." Those of you who are watching this on a stream, not those of you who are here live, because like you obviously can't see this, but GG's, thanks for the ticket.
Yeah, and the From Software game, the VR one, was shown afterwards on that panel too. Yeah, it's just like
they just put so much focus on the stages and the guy playing the flute, and yeah, that's really cool. And I'm sure for the people live, that's a really cool. I know it's not a flute.
it's not.
I know.
It's shakuhachi.
Thank you. But they put so much focus on that, and that's a cool experience. But then you showed 4 games, and then you come out and you say, "Oh, we have nothing to show for this, so we're pulling out of E3 next year." Except you have stuff that you have more than you showed last year that you could have showed.
Yeah,
and including you have Death Stranding because
you have Death Stranding. You have another Marvel game in the VR Iron Man.
Yeah,
and you can really showcase that one at E3.
They could have had Square Enix.
They could have had
stage.
Square Enix on the stage.
It's
yeah,
not anything they haven't done, and Square Enix had their huge reveal of their Avengers RPG, and
yeah,
like you have these connects with third party. Like Xbox doesn't shy away from using third party. They had so many games of their own, didn't care. They included third party. They showed us Elden Ring. They showed us Tales of Arise, and they didn't shy away from that. So for Sony to like be like, "Oh, we have nothing to show you," that you're like Square Enix, you have a huge relationship with. Bandai, you have a great
all your
relationship
third
with.
party,
And they're all like, "Oh, we have stuff," and Sony's like, "No."
like Final
We're not
Fantasy
going
VII Remake.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, they have an exclusive deal. We don't know if the game is totally exclusive to PlayStation 4 or if it's timed.
Right.
We don't know. What we do know is when Square showed it off, the Microsoft and Xbox names were nowhere to be found.
Right. And you can't
So,
pre-order for it.
you can't.
Pre-orders are out.
Yeah, you can't. They're not on the trailers, so we don't know. And it doesn't say timed exclusive anywhere.
No.
So they could have secured a total exclusive deal.
Right. And this is one of the biggest cult following games that has been just sought after forever.
This will be the biggest game of the generation. It may not be the best game of the
Right.
generation. I mean, I'm hoping that it will rise up
I mean,
to
it
that
looks
God of
really
War
great,
caliber.
so-
Because to me, that's the game of the generation,
Yeah.
God of War.
I don't think there's even a debate about that.
No, that is the pinnacle of this gen,
Mhm.
and there's nothing even close. I thought Red Dead 2 was gonna
No.
be close. It's not.
No.
And Final Fantasy VII Remake has a chance though to be there because it's already been a previously released game. It's not something brand new,
Mhm.
but then we saw the gameplay,
But it is a remake.
and what you're seeing
So it's not,
is brand
it's not-
new
Yeah, exactly.
with
it's not,
characters that you know. So, yeah, I mean, it has the opportunity to be right up there with the God of War
Without a
caliber. And if it is a total exclusive to your platform, you don't have anything to show, and you know that game's coming out in March.
yeah, and they knew about Death
They
Stranding.
knew.
They had to know about all
They knew
these.
about that. They knew about Death Stranding, and it's just like those are 2 of the biggest games.
I mean, even the Tales of series is always PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, Like I think that's the first time Xbox has ever had it on like their stage or anything. I know there are games on it, but like it's always been PlayStation where these are shown.
It has. Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, we don't have anything there. Even From you've got a great relationship with. You're the only one they released an exclusive for ever. Bloodborne is PS4 exclusive, and you're the only one. And you're saying, and they've got a brand new title coming out that's massive, and they're saying this is like the spiritual successor to Dark Souls 3, and you're like, we don't want to go there. We don't want to.
We don't have anything to show.
Yeah, no, nothing here.
The real point is we spent a lot of money last year. E3's expensive, and we didn't really get a return out of it because we released one fucking game.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. And it's just unfortunate because they don't need to do all that.
No.
They're going to be at E3 next year.
I think
There's a brand new console coming out. They'll be there.
I think it's a dumb decision for them because you don't make a decision like this and give it 1 year.
They'll be back.
But I think they have to be.
It's just,
and then it just kind of makes them look like idiots because like
it does.
You pulled out and you said you're going to go your own way and do your own thing, and then I think they have to be there in 2020, and it's like, well, what was the point? Why did you pull out of 2019 if you were just going to come back a year later and say, oh, guess what, we're back?
Yeah, and I totally expect they're going to do it, and I think they're going to knock it out of the park in their presentation, and I don't think anybody's ever going to talk about that again.
Nope, probably not.
Because their 2020 E3 will be so fucking good that nobody will care. They will be forgiven.
I mean, they'll have a huge 2020 line.
I don't know if Kojima will forgive them. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe they purchase his studio.
Death Stranding sells as well, so.
I think it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I think it sells. It's Kojima, honestly. I don't think it's so much Sony. I think it's Kojima.
I think that game will easily do $5 million. I'll put that there.
It's got Norman Reedus in it.
It does. It's got Norman. It's got Mads Mikkelsen. It's got Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Missing other people. I apologize. But, I mean, easily one of the most anticipated games of the generation, I guess you should say. Because from the moment we first saw the first teaser of not knowing what the hell that was to 1 month ago, still not knowing what the hell it is. The hype, though. The hype is building for it. So I could easily see that doing 5.
I would love to see them do something for Kojima, commercials or something out there. Like, there is just nothing.
They will. Give it, I say, that's coming out in November. Expect end of August. No, that's too soon.
I don't know if that's
October.
Because you have nothing. You have no marketing for this, man.
I'm thinking back to Red Dead. And Red Dead 2, Rockstar, they kind of do
wasn't an exclusive.
No, you're right. Maybe it would need more time being exclusive. I don't know, though.
I just think you have to give this man a bone.
I'll say mid-September.
Give him something. Because he wanted to be at E3 so bad, it depressed him. It was very public that he was like, wow, I want to be at E3. He tweeted the whole thing about how amazing it looked.
Yeah, he did do that.
It was very public that he was not happy with the decision to pull out of that, especially with his game releasing this year. And you got to do something for him.
I'm going to say first couple of weeks of September, the state of play will be, if not the whole thing, at least half will be dedicated to that game.
Well, I hope they extend it to 30 minutes.
Yeah, that would be sweet if they did. Give him 15 whole minutes just for his game. Give him the opportunity to talk.
Right.
Give his own presentation sort of thing. That would make things right, I think.
Yeah.
And then start the promotion right after that, and then just ride it all the way out to November 8th. And I usually see that doing $5 million. Because I think it was God of War, even how big it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took a while for it to hit 10 million. So, single player games, it's not like Call of Duty or something like that sells
instantly
100 million copies on day one. It's fucking insane. But yeah, I could see that doing 5. And that would be a big success for him. And I don't know, though, if Sony's feeling the pressure, though. Do you think they're feeling the pressure from Microsoft buying up all these studios?
I don't think Sony cares.
Got 15 now.
Sony's worried about Sony.
Yeah, Sony Worldwide Studios. They haven't really grown, though, at all. They do secure these license deals, though, man.
I mean, they've got they've got games.
Insomniac, Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man 2's coming. That was a huge success. And
what is the one that Lost Soul aside? I mean, they've got games that they could. I don't know how we don't. I don't know. That game looked incredible, and we saw some of it last year, and we haven't. It just is dark. There's nothing coming out. Even like Code Vein is coming out, and they have
Bandai
so
Namco.
much to
They have
show.
a
It's just
they have
so
a
frustrating.
good relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I can think of.
Wait, 1 second. How do you let an anime game, the revival of the Dragon Ball Z games, RPGs, be shown on Xbox's stage as a Japanese company? That's like, and it's Bandai Namco.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
That's mind blowing to me.
It is.
This game looks incredible, and it's an RPG Dragon Ball Z game, and you're like, Xbox can have that, you know.
Not only that, but Capcom and Devil May Cry 5 being debuted on Xbox, was it last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That just blew me away. I couldn't believe it.
Hearts,
couldn't believe it.
First time on stage.
Yeah.
Like
that's okay. That's Square, but Capcom. That's in the Devil May Cry series. Like when the PlayStation 4 was first debuted in that February conference that they did in New York, one of the first tech demos they showed was a Capcom game that never came out in the West, but I forgot what that was called.
I mean, they also let Xbox steal like Phantasy Star 2. These are games that are like in their backyard, and they're like,
it is.
And Phantasy Star 2 is coming to both consoles too, but like
it comes to Xbox first though.
Yeah, it does. It's a timed exclusive for Xbox, but
and that's a big deal for Phil, man.
Yeah, I mean that's in your backyard. Like that was a Japanese only MMO that has never come to the West, and you
wait, that
Xbox,
wasn't Japanese though.
Phantasy Star?
No,
I believe it is.
I thought it was Korean.
Ooh, it might be Korean.
I think it is.
Regardless, it's in your backyard. Like Xbox and Microsoft, they're a Western company. They're American based. Japanese based Sony should have the East locked up. That's
true. Yeah, I see where you're going there. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I just don't know.
This is the only thing I can think of why they weren't there is because they have a lot. They have to have a lot ready for next gen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, The Last of Us 2, I think, ends up being a next gen launch. I think it is on both, but I think it ends up being at this point. I don't know why they wouldn't push it to next gen because you've already waited this long.
I'm going to agree with you just because of what Microsoft did.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was, if you missed it or if you missed last week, what they did was announced their specs for Xbox Scarlet. They did a developer diary type thing talking about the team that made the Xbox One X and the journey that they went on. They stayed together and they went into R&D, research and development for the Scarlet, which is their next-gen console. Do you think that's going to stay the name?
No.
You don't?
I think they go dumb with it and call it like the Xbox 2 or something. I mean, I hope not. I hope they come out with a cool name for it, but I just think they don't.
Scarlet is red. So I don't see that name sticking either.
Also,
unless they're going to change the color scheme.
No way.
No way, right? Yeah, no way.
Green and black and white. It's
that's the color scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Xbox One, 2.
Yeah.
No way. But anyway, so they announced that, and they also shown Halo Infinite, which we kind of thought we were going to see. I actually thought we were going to see that as the first title.
Right.
But no, they have a new plan, and that game is going to be a release launch title for the Scarlet.
Right.
I think Sony saw that, and they decided we need a day one launch title that is one of our key games. Because Halo
Nintendo did it with Breath of the Wild too.
And they did it with Breath of the Wild. And when you think Xbox, you think Halo.
Right.
When you think PlayStation, what do you think?
I mean, they have a lot of exclusives, but I think
do you think
probably The Last of Us? I mean, The Last of Us is like, as of late, is like maybe God of War, which we know they're working on another God of War.
We do,
but I can't imagine
that one
that
ended
would
on
be
a
ready.
cliffhanger.
That would no
that
way.
One. I mean, Corey.
If it's
Corey
ready,
can get it done.
Like good.
Corey would
Launch
get that
with
shit
God
done.
of War, because that would be incredible.
He would. His team could do it.
Yeah.
If somebody said that needs to launch next winter, his team's the one I would say
Maybe Spider-Man?
can make that shit happen.
Because I think
I don't think so.
you don't think so? I think
Mm-mm.
that's kind of
I think it's
synonymous with them
Too
now.
soon. It's too soon.
2 years, right? By then,
Yeah, but I don't know. I
think
don't think it's time.
I think we would have seen something about it by now if it was.
Yeah, I do think, man, when I think of PlayStation, I think of God of War.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think Last of Us.
I think The Last of Us is like their before God of War was like their biggest game of kind of PS4.
What if it's Ghost of Tsushima?
I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy with that too, but I don't know if that's going to be a console
I don't know if
pusher.
that's like synonymous with PlayStation either, though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's one that's going to push console.
That's kind of a niche market too.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
Although it shouldn't be because it's going to be incredible and everybody should play it.
It could be Last of Us.
I think it has to be at this point though. Like they gave us The Last of Us 2, or they gave us the hype for it in 2017 E3, 2018 we were like, okay, well, this is a cool trailer, but when's it coming out? 2019 they skipped.
Oh,
and
I know it. We haven't seen anything.
And they're
nothing.
Like, at 2018 they were like, here's our 4 games. We're focusing on these 4 games. This is what you're going to get from us.
And the best demo of the show was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without it, that was.
And they went completely dark. There's no way.
They didn't go
They said that
dark
was running on a
they made an April
PS4
Fool's
Pro.
joke and said,
Oh, they did.
hey,
yeah.
this is canceled.
Ugh.
Jerks.
They said.
Have a good night, Chris.
They said that was running on a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, there's no way.
I don't believe it. No fucking way do I believe that.
That game looked incredible.
Maybe that section of the game was the only thing they had.
Right.
Then I believe the PS4 Pro could run that.
Yeah, and it would.
When
be
you
like
add the rest of the game in, no, absolutely not.
That was an 80 gig download on their PlayStation 4
80
Pro.
gigs for
Developer.
a 10-minute demo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No way. We are way off rails here.
It's all right.
It happens.
I like to spit on Sony a little bit.
I know you do.
Maybe they'll listen and fix it.
But I wanted to talk about another game that we said in the beginning of the show. Because I saw an article from Eurogamer that said Fire Emblem Three Houses offers 200 plus hours of gameplay. 200 plus hours.
That's what I expected, though.
Yep.
I expected probably after they showed us the stuff with. Okay, by the way, I'm super excited for this game. So I've done a ton of research. I've read the Japanese magazine that they release that kind of hints at things in this. They release it every so often, and it gets translated online. I've read it. They give you information on the new
I didn't even know about
characters.
that.
Yeah, and I'm just super excited. I've done a ton of research for this. So after they showed us the student section of the game, I told my brother, who is also super excited for this game, this is 100 hours a house. Like the amount of things that you can do and the amount of customization with the number of students you have is insane.
Yeah.
And you can take there's so much customization. You can take the houses. Each one has like a specialization or a focus at the beginning. The Black Eagles are they're magic focused with the princess. I can't think of her name, but
Blue Lions.
Blue Lions are a sword focus, and then the
Golden Deer
are a archer focus.
Right.
But they don't have
They're
to
getting
be
wrecked.
that in any way. You can completely change them away from that and say, well, you might have a focus on archery right now, but I really would like you to use a lance and ride a horse. And you can do that. And it's all based on the test taking. It's all based on your relationship building with each character. And there is so much to do. They released an article about what you can do on your days off, right? So Sundays basically are the students' days off, and you can go on walks with them. You can take them on picnics and set up for a relationship down the road, because in the second half there are relationship options. You can set up relationships with them there. You can go and talk to the knights in the area and just have communication with them, take them out to dinner, whatever. There is so much of this that you can do and so many different things. You can even take the day off and you can regain a little bit of like action points or whatever and just relax in your room. But there is so much in this student phase that it makes this a 100-hour game to me. And for them to say 80 hours, I think that's easy. I think that's being kind of cautious. That might even be like speed running some things where like in the student section, you can skip or you can auto do the testing and things.
Yep.
And that might be including that, because I think
could
if
be.
you took your time and worked with every single student and made them what you want them to be, I think it's easily 100 hours.
I think
Just
you're
in
right.
that-
Yeah.
Just the first hour.
Plus, you got the exploration. Don't
Yeah.
forget about that, and the varying paths that you can take when you're meeting
and the different
from
missions you can
merchants and
do
stuff,
to
and
earn
side
new
quests, all
knights
that.
and yeah, there's so much to do. Even in the beginning half, I think the student section is probably the longer section of the game. I'd say that's probably 55 hours just in the student
could
area.
Be. If you're curious where he's getting 80 hours from, Fire Emblem Three Houses director Toshiyuki Kasukihara has confirmed it'll take players around 80 hours to complete just one house in the upcoming tactical RPG, intimating that the full game could take more than 200 hours.
And of course, you're going to play each house. And I mean, you can also, in the beginning,
Yeah,
you get the
but
character created.
Why are you going to play each house? The reason is because each one of them you're going to want to know the tales of.
Yep.
Because
there are also different
the
students.
storytelling in Fire Emblem games. Well, I don't know how far back it goes. I started the series at Awakening, and the storytelling is amazing in Awakening. So,
well, in that Japanese magazine, they give you the story and the background story on each student, and each house has their own student list. Like, you don't have the same students in each house, and they all have their own histories. They all come from different backgrounds. There are multiple backgrounds. There are students that have crests, meaning that they're ancient royalty. Like, there's so much going on in this game.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to play it because you will want to know about each student, and you can have favorite students too. So when you begin a new game in the beginning and you're like, okay, well, I was a Black Eagle before and I really, really like this student and I know they focus on archery. You can character create yourself with a focus on archery, and that student will say, hey, that teacher over there is really good. I might switch houses.
yeah, that's a
And you can
possibility
do
too.
that.
So you have limitless
There's just so much
possibility
to do.
right
There's
there.
absolutely so much to do. And I'm just so excited for this game.
So this was the other big title we were talking about for July. This comes out July 26th. This is a single-player game published by Nintendo, developed by Intelligent Systems, co-developed by KOEI TECMO.
My brother and I bought a second Switch for this.
Did you
game
get it? Nice.
so that we can play side by side in different houses. He's going to be a blue lion. I'm going to be a black eagle.
So this is the first Fire Emblem. No, not true, because that Dynasty Warriors one, I guess, came to Switch, but
Yikes.
yeah, I forgot what that one was called. Fire Emblem Warriors, I think it was called. Yeah, because Fire Emblem Heroes is the mobile game.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Warriors came to the Nintendo Switch, but this is the first main Fire Emblem game to come to the Nintendo Switch. It has all new HD graphics, and if you didn't catch any of the gameplay from E3, I encourage you to go to Nintendo's YouTube channel and look at their Nintendo Treehouse Live playlist. Search for this game and take a look at it. If you don't know what a tactical RPG is, it will explain it to you there, and you will see some extremely high-level gameplay that one could only hope to achieve when playing themselves. A expansion pass was announced for this. So here's the official: expand your game with DLC. Your journey continues with 4 waves of downloadable content. You can get access to all 4 as they release with the expansion pass. Expansion pass owners will also receive Officers Academy outfits, female and male, for the protagonist on July 26th. So you get a little bonus when it launches too. Yeah.
I believe that isn't included in the Seasons of War edition, is it not?
Not seeing the other edition here.
I think it's just a pre-order bonus with it, or a pre-order only edition, I believe, and they might be sold out, which could be why you're not seeing it there.
Yeah, you could be right. But yeah, I mean, like, so you touched on it a bit. You got the Officers Academy is home to 3 houses: the Black Eagles, Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. So you have to choose. As a professor, you lead students in their academic lives and on the battlefield. It's a turn-based tactical RPG. Puts new twists on strategic battling. For the first time in the series' history, battalions of troops follow individual units to support them in battle. We actually got to see that during the Treehouse gameplay, and that was
Very
really cool. You freely roam.
You can earn those too, and they have like different rarities. Like you can earn a legendary battalion to go in with your people. So
Yeah, so
Very
there's depth to each of these systems, which is
Yep.
very nice. You freely roam I'm going to butcher this. The Gareg Mock Monastery. I
Good try.
think I said that right. Probably not.
Better than me. So.
You interact with the students in a variety of ways here, over lunch even, to bond and gather intel. So that's what he was talking about there. You're going to be doing it there at basically that's the school. As a female or male professor, you'll meet house leaders and future rulers of Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude.
Everybody's calling Edelgard Edgelord. She also wears all black.
Fair enough.
So if you search Edgelord, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Edelgard, the leader of the Black Eagles, will appear.
From what I've seen in polls, the Black Eagles are way out in front for people that are choosing their path.
It's because she's hot. Gamers, you weirdos.
You bastards.
Weirdly, I am going to select the Black Eagles.
Oh, you pervert.
It is what it is, you know? They do have a magic focus, though, which is very cool. I told my brother I was going to run all tanks and all mages and just line the mages up behind the tanks. And
Just line them up.
He said, "You're going to lose.
He's
You're gonna
right.
Get all your characters killed." Because
He's
this is a
also right.
permadeath game, although there is a new mechanic, but you can't use that over and over. So you get certain amount of uses of this where it does allow you to reverse however many moves you'd like to save your character or save if somebody does get killed. But it is not like you can't just spam this. You can't reset everything all the time. So it's a permadeath game with a kind of an asterisk.
It's also permadeath asterisk if you choose that mode.
Correct.
Because you can play easy mode where if you fall in battle, you just get the game over screen and you can
Right.
reload and do it back up.
Well, it's not easy mode per se because
No, it's not easy.
You can play.
It's still difficult.
It's the same difficulty. There are 2 difficulty modes. It's normal and hard, but you can choose beyond that. It goes to classic, which is the permadeath, or you can choose the other mode. So it's still going to be the same difficulty. It's just going to allow you to, if you have a favorite character or something, it's not going to die.
It's basically a second chance in the permadeath
It's
mode.
a cheese.
Yeah.
Play permadeath mode.
So I don't normally talk about rumors,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to this time
Mm-hmm.
because there are some leaks coming out for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is next gen only. And we were talking about what games would launch with PS5 if they call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Rockstar would
Exclusive?
be ready?
No way.
No.
But could it launch?
Could it be a launch title?
Red Dead
No,
was,
I don't think it would be.
Red Dead was 2018, end of 2018, October. Well, they could have been working on it beforehand, which would, I don't imagine they're the same team. Rockstar's huge.
No, I don't think you get this game before 22.
You think? I think it
They
probably
usually take 5-6 years before they come out.
Yeah, I
They
know,
release
but
shit whenever they
GTA
feel
5
like it,
was
man.
2010, 2012, something like that.
Yeah.
It was way back. So if
It
you
was not 2010. Will you stop with that, please?
2013 maybe, I don't know. It was way back though.
Every time.
And it's still on the top 5 list, always on the top 5 sales list. And I could see it. I could see it as a launch title, maybe a few months after launch.
Here are some of the leaks that are coming out for the details of Grand Theft Auto 6. It's going to be set in Vice City and a city based on Rio. Some missions will also take place in Liberty City. The story is actually going to span decades. The story is inspired by Netflix's original series Narcos. It takes place in the 70s and 80s, and cities will change as time progresses. And your car is going to work like your horse does in Red Dead. So you're going to be able to store equipment in the trunk of your car, limiting what you can carry on your character, which actually I like that change a lot.
Much more realistic.
I have to be completely honest here. Even though Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the top-selling games, still, I am one of the people that still remain that do not own this title. And I have not played Grand Theft Auto 5.
You're one of the few at this point.
Very few. There's only 3 of us
somehow
left.
It keeps being sold, so I guess not. People are just out there buying 7 copies a piece. Good for you guys, I guess, supporting Rockstar, but
Somebody out there has lined their entire room with cases of this game.
good for
That
you.
is their wallpaper.
I mean, more power to you.
Yeah, why not? But no, I don't know. I just never got into that
Mhm.
3 protagonist alternating time thing, and it just didn't pull me in. I think
GTA 5's online was much more important to its sales than the game itself.
The online is what's keeping it in that top 5. So
I mean, that car game, I bought the game just to play that.
Oh,
the ramp jump.
So I don't know, man. I watched the Narco series, and that was a really good series on Netflix. If it feels like that, this could be something. I played Vice City back in the day. That was my jam. And I played San Andreas too. San Andreas was fucking awesome. So I don't know. I didn't really get into 4 with Nico, and I didn't get into 5. So
with all 3,
yeah.
I know Brennan's played all of them. I'm not really I've never been a fan of GTA, honestly. Just because it's kind of, I like linear games. I like RPGs, but this is sort of like do whatever you want, like sandbox, and I've just never been into that kind of thing. I also didn't get into RDR2 very much, so I guess that tells you. I like to be told where to go and what to do, I guess. And I've never really been a shooter person either in the aspect of like just using guns in the game versus like competitively, yes, but not in this aspect or this type of game.
So for me, one of the things that appeals to me in a Grand Theft Auto game is how different the quests are, or the missions, I should say. So one mission, you can be rolling in with a crew and going against another crew, doing a drug deal or something. You can just take it down, and then another mission, you could be trying to pilot a drone and doing stuff like that, or flying a fucking RC helicopter or stuff like that. I mean, they're varied for sure. So it's very fun to play at it. It's just something about 4 and 5 that didn't appeal to me. And I
mean, some of the funniest clips I've ever seen of video games are from GTA 5 Online. They're just, people have taken that.
See, the online does appeal to me, but I'm at that point now where
you're just gonna wait for GTA 6.
Well, yes and no. Like, I can't see myself getting into GTA 5 Online now because I feel like it's gone by me.
Right.
Because there's just so much to it. I feel like it's too late, and that happens with different games. Like take a game like Destiny, for example. When an expansion dropped, well, this is prior to Shadowkeep, but for now, when an expansion dropped, if you weren't ready, you basically were
sat
fucked.
Out. You
go
grind.
You didn't get to do anything, and so it's like you got to catch up still. And people will not do that journey because nobody likes to feel left behind like that. Yeah. So
I mean, when we stopped
there's
playing
just too many
Destiny
games.
2, it was 300 was the light, or not light. It's power now.
Power.
It was the power level, and now it's 750. So
insane. But we're getting back in thanks to Google Stadia. So hopefully the servers and stuff work well.
Maintained, and the cross save is.
I can't wait to jump on that stuff, man. We're gonna be creating a lot of Stadia content for you guys, especially because it's something that's brand new, and it's unfortunate that not everybody's going to be able to get their hands on it and experience it. So we'll definitely be
pricing. It's definitely
pricing. And I'm not talking about pricing. I'm just talking about broadband internet in general. Yeah. We are fortunate where we live to have good internet, so we'll be making lots of content to show you guys.
They do recommend a minimum of 25 megabits per second, which is actually pretty doable, as long as you're in the United States anyway.
And you're in one of a city, because rural broadband is still trash in the U.S. Hopefully one day. I don't know. What do you think Google just comes out? Because they said in an interview recently, they were like, yeah, we got a plan for that.
Well, Elon just launched his satellites to try and bring internet to people. So
I know they're 5G focused, and like 5G speeds are in the gig range. So gigabit speed in 5G is insane, but it's not available. So I don't know what their plan is for that, but we'll see. I mean,
they put $1 billion into this.
They did.
Like, They
it's a long-term plan for
are
them.
going to
So
do what they can to make this
Stadia's
happen.
not going anywhere
They're
anytime
taking their
soon.
piece of the gaming market and getting their own corner.
Yeah, and they have the tech to do it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
They're letting me play like Baldur's Gate 3 on my TV in 4K. So
all you need is a controller and a Chromecast.
yeah, which is included if you buy the Founders Pack. So
Yeah. I have to check availability. I wonder if that thing's selling out yet. Anything else?
nope, that's all I had for today.
I think the two of us carried this show pretty fucking well.
We
don't need
carry
anybody
every show.
else. It's just us now from going on forward. I hope you guys will like that.
See,
He and
guys,
I
just us.
and you.
We didn't lock eyes the whole time, so you're welcome for that.
We didn't. Because if we did, I would have won the staring contest. So. But that's all the time we got this week. I want to thank you all for joining me. It's just you. But I do want to thank you all for watching and listening. And we will see you next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Yep. See ya.